this video, we'll see how certain little creatures must consume several times their own weight over the day in order to survive. So let's watch this video together. Number 8. Being the biggest mammal that have ever lived, the blue whale has an enormous appetite. These aquatic animals consume an abundance of food. The typical blue whale consumes 16 tons of krill every day. They have the capacity to ingest around 500,000 calories in a single bite, which is not optimal for most diet programs. 16 tons of food every day may seem excessive when compared to the 200 tons that a blue whale weighs, but it is actually not that much. Number 7. The hummingbird is on the other extreme of the food range. Their main source of food is nectar, which has few nutritional benefits. Since hummingbirds don't have any teeth to decay, nectar is actually just sugar water. While a diet low in everything else and heavy in sugar would be disastrous for humans. However, hummingbirds require this kind of diet to survive. They have one of the greatest metabolic rates of any living thing, which explains why. They have wings that can flap more than 80 times each second. Just to keep up, their hearts must beat about 20 times every second. Number 6. Despite not eating as regularly as some other animals, Burmese pythons do not hold back when they do. Along with the anaconda, these enormous snakes are some of the biggest in the world, reaching lengths of up to 23 feet, 7 meters, and weighing up to 200 pounds, 90 kilograms. The Burmese python, like other snakes, has a relatively moderate metabolism, thus it only requires feeding once every 2 weeks. But the portions of these dishes are huge. Alligators, goats, and deer have all been reported to be consumed by Burmese pythons. They consume their prey in its entirety, including the bones, teeth, and skin, and may consume an animal that is around 50% their size in one sitting. Number 5. Although not very big for a bear, these 200 to 300 pound bears are nevertheless fairly enormous. They do have a very specialized diet, though, unlike other bears. In actuality, bamboo is pretty much the only food consumed by enormous pandas. Bamboo is both extremely tough to digest and not highly nutritive. Only approximately 20% of it can be digested, even by gigantic pandas, whose diet consists primarily of bamboo. To put it another way, they have to consume a ton of it to survive. A big panda may consume up to 15% of its own body weight in just 12 hours of eating, which is how long they typically spend eating each day. The majority of the remaining hours of their day are spent sleeping and digesting. Number 4. The elephant, the biggest terrestrial mammal in the world, has a voracious appetite when it comes to eating a lot of food. The elephant's food is not particularly nutrient-rich and is fairly difficult to digest, in contrast to the blue whale. Elephants are unable to digest most of their diet, like the majority of other animals that consume plants. Approximately 50% of the food they eat is actually only partially digested by them. Elephants must consume a lot of it, much like the gigantic panda. A day's worth of food may be found by an elephant traveling up to 12.5 miles, 20 kilometers, and weighing roughly 350 pounds, 158 kilograms. Elephants consume bark, grasses, leaves, twigs, shoots, fruit, if they are fortunate enough to locate it, and fruit. Number 3. This little creature consumes a lot of food. The American pygmy shrew is the second smallest mammal on the planet, Yet despite its little size, it has one of the biggest appetites. It has an incredibly fast metabolism and must devour around 3 times as much food as it weighs each day in order to survive. As a result, feedings happen every 15 to 30 minutes. Pygmy shrews would starve to death if they went 1 hour without eating. As a result, the American pygmy shrew spends most of its time eating and only sleeps for brief periods at a time. Number 2. There is a reason why the word locusts is frequently used to refer to plague. A locust must consume its own weight in food each day. This doesn't seem all that amazing given that it just weighs 2 grams, or a little fraction of an ounce. Where there is one locust, there are frequently many, many more. Only under specific climatic conditions, which are not frequently present, dune locusts can hatch. As a result, they all hatch at once, resulting in billions of people in swarms. These swarms together consume hundreds of tons of plants, decimating entire agricultural systems and endangering global economies. Number 1. The black-footed cat is the final creature on our list of animals with large appetites. Although this cat may appear little and cuddly, it is a lethal predator with a voracious appetite. They virtually always need to eat due to their very high metabolic rate. Approximately 10 to 14 killings, or 1 every 50 minutes, are made by these little cats each night. They are unquestionably the most effective hunters in the cat family and among the world's best overall. Hunting success rates for black-footed cats are around 60%, which is almost 3 times higher than those for lions.